Good evening, folks, from the Executive Mansion. This is Spoon TV with me, Sylvester Chirople. So at this time, His Excellency President Joseph Boakai is concluding his fifth meeting with officials of government here at the Executive Mansion. So in a jiffy, a few minutes, you will be seeing His Excellency President Joseph Boakai and his schools of government official walking out of this tea house here at the Executive Mansion from the meeting. But while we await them, let's now update you what the president said previously. So the president was very strong and clear this morning when they started their fifth cabinet meeting. The president admonished ministers to follow suit and follow procedure and make sure that the right thing are done, because he said once a minister, be it assistant minister or deputy minister, caught in going outside the government agendas or doing things illegal, definitely you will have to leave. And he said once you leave, people who even recommended you to be assistant minister, deputy minister, or minister proper will not be able to beg or negotiate for you to come back. So he was very strong that officials of government should follow the procedure and do what is right. He actually emphasized on deliverance, that is results. He said he wants to see results from his government officials, meaning cabinet members. All right. So he also said that. So he also talked about government officials serving the Liberian publics. All right. He wants officials of government to serve, and officials should not see the places of work as private domains. That's one of the words that he used, that officials of government should not see their offices as private domains. All right. And he was talking about the way other officials take their offices as private places. They do whatever they wish to do, sometimes without consultation. And that's how he talks about people who have hidden agendas, especially hidden agendas that will undermine his arrest agenda, agenda that will make his government ugly or make himself ugly, that will show to the Liberian people that he's not working and what he was elected for. They are not seeing that. So once he said you are caught in that behavior, definitely you are going to leave. So the president also talked about people who may have that intention to undermine his government, especially his arrest agenda. All right, he's talking about that. He said after 177 years, it is time that Liberian people know that they have leaders to serve. All right, he said after 177 years, it is time that Liberians know that they have leaders to serve and not leaders to rule. All right, he also talked about that. So he said all he wants to see is that impact results. Let Liberian people know that they elected a president who is capable of bringing positive changes in their lives and within the country as a whole. So as such, he wants his government officials working diligently for positive results. All right. So the president also talked about that. All right. So the next thing that the president also talk about is the issue of that nobody is baby. He said nobody is baby in his government. Once you are appointed or given a position, you should perform to the task. You should not be told to do something. You should not be told to carry on anything that you know that you should do. You should do your work accordingly. You should perform. and you should not just organize program just to see him coming to the program, people clapping that he's doing, this minister or the assistant minister or the director is doing very well, and after that ceremony, and then everything just everything just not working. He doesn't want eye service work. That's why he was saying in essence, he doesn't want eye service work. People should be able to walk behind his presence. All right, people's work should be able to tell Liberian people that yes, indeed, this ministry or this entity or this director or this minister is working. Your work should be able to speak for you. All right, and it's not about eye service. So the president also talked about that this morning, and we hope to hear from more of the cabinet members who are in this tea house currently here at the executive mansion. So we'll continue to bring you more of what the president said this morning when he opened the fifth cabinet meeting here at the executive mansion. And the president also talked about his government not going to run on social media. He was very clear that the government has official spokesperson and official entity, that whatever the government wants to disseminate information to the public, the Ministry of Information will be in that capacity to do so. And he doesn't want to see this other person coming and talking, social media, running his government on social media, and all kinds of information from here and there. He doesn't want to see that. And he's now going to run his government on social media. He was very, very straight on that as well. So he actually mentioned the Ministry of Information as the official spokes, entity that will be releasing information to the public. The president also talked about that this morning. All right. More of what the president said this morning, we will continue to bring you updates as we all await, His Excellency President Joseph Nkrumah Boakai and schools of government officials who are here currently in this meeting. So, like I told you, the president said people who will not perform in their jobs or duty will leave, definitely. And once you leave, people who recommended you will not be able to negotiate for you to come back. I think that's one of the things that are very, very, very important. That once you blunder and the president fires you, definitely you are out of the game. And people who recommended you previously will not be able to negotiate or do any other thing for you to come back or any other thing. All right. And the president also talked about the activeness of youth, and the way he mentioned the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He said most Liberian youth, they are people who have talents, intellectual and very smart, but being that there are no opportunities, and that's why most of them they are going astray nowadays. So he talked about the Ministry of Youth and Sports being very, very innovative, making sure that most of the young people who don't have anything, they can be able to be placed somewhere, so at least they can be able to do something. And also the Ministry of Education should be able to formulate programs so young people can be educated, be talented, and be able to contribute to the society positively. So the president also mentioned Ministry of Youth and Sports and that of the Ministry of Education. So the president was also keen about youth progression. And of course, the presidents also talk about some legislative agenda. All right, the president wants some specific, legislative, agenda should be passed, so that his arrest agenda, can be able to be seen and felt by the Liberian people. So I think he did not really measure specifically which all of the legislative agenda he has and wants to be passed subsequently by the legislators. But he's working with the legislature to making sure that relevant laws are being implemented. And one of the things he also talked about is that he actually strongly admonished the Ministry of Justice. He said the Ministry of Justice should not be afraid to implement the law. He said those who are witches will be hunted. So if you are not a witch, no need for you to be afraid, because you will not be hunted once you are not a witch. But when you are a witch, definitely you will be hunted. So there he actually cautioned the Ministry of Justice to be very, very firm, strong, and bold in making sure that justice is served to everyone, no matter what. So he's highly encouraged the Ministry of Justice to perform its tasks and making sure that fair justice is issued to everyone within the country, especially as LACC and GACC. As you may know, all this is ongoing. The president wants to see fair justice, and once, according to him, in his words, when you are not a witch, you will not be hunted. But when you are a witch, definitely you will be hunted. And the law is the law, and do no discrimination. That's what the president says. So he's also admonishing the Ministry of Justice to stand firm and do what it should do. All right. So the president also talked about that, and the Minister of Justice is here, and we hope to talk to him after this meeting. We hope to talk to Councillor Torre. He's here. We hope to talk to him after this meeting to know how and how the Justice Minister standing and how it's standing to implement the law. All right. So the president also talked about prices. Sudden increase of prices. All right. So the president said many a times. Like he mentioned the issue of rice, that at times people just wake up and increase prices, sometimes for their own benefit, at the detriment of the people. He doesn't want to see it. He wants to see the stability of prices, and that's why, according to him, his government is doing everything, especially for rice and gasoline, fuel, that those basic commodity prices remain stable. So he also, there where he actually mentioned the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Commerce, to be very, very vigilant in making sure that they do the right thing. He doesn't want to see, suddenly you see prices up, rice price up, or gasoline price up, or for nothing. Doing all of these things at the detriment of the Liberian people. He doesn't want to see that, because according to me, his government is putting in mechanisms to making sure that all of these things are curtailed. So the president also talk about basic commodity prices. All right. So well, we are here, and we will continue to take you through. Of course, you know that the president, obviously, whenever he speaks, he talk about accountability, transparency, and the fight against corruption. So this morning at the beginning, the president talked about accountability. All right, he wants every government official to be accountable. All right, you should be accountable. You should be able to do the right thing. And the way he actually urged the ministers, purpose to be able to work with their deputies to making sure that the right things are done. There he also talked about respect. All right, he said he wants total coordination among government officials. The minister of purpose should be able to supervise the deputy minister, and the deputy minister should be able to supervise the assistant minister, and the assistant minister should be able to supervise those that under him. And that's how he wants that coordination, and that respect should be in every ministry or agency. He doesn't want this minister, he doesn't want to work with the deputy minister or the assistant minister. No, he wants total coordination among officials of government for one goal. All right, so the president also talked about that, and the president was very, very clear about that. All right, he was very, very clear about that. So he wants that thing to happen among government officials. The president talked about the aspect of agricultural bank loans. All right, yes, the president talked about loans. He said his government is doing putting mechanisms in place to make sure that local sellers, can get loans, and once the loan is available, he doesn't want discrimination, whereas maybe people who will be controlling the loan, they will be able to do a transaction or distribute the loan to only those that they know. All right, he wants it should be able to go across, and it should not be based on like in Liberia, what we say, who knows you. All right, who know your stuff, So once that opportunity is available, it should be able to go across and without discrimination. All right. So one of the things that the pastor talked about is the issue about ArcelorMittal and other companies within the country, and he was specific about ArcelorMittal. He said those who usually work with ArcelorMittal, they complain a lot. The authority or officials at ArcelorMittal, they don't care about people who work with them. If the environment they live in, their health issue, most concessions companies, they don't respect the workers regardless of whatever. They don't respect. So he also admonished the Ministry of Labor to be able to be very very rigid and vigilant in making sure that those Liberians or whoever working on the concession companies, they are treated fairly and rightly. No Liberian should be treated like a slave. All right, no Liberian should be treated like a slave. He wants, once you're working with a company, that company should be able to do all due diligence to pay you and to care about your well-being. He doesn't want to see or hear about news where people will be able to people are making protests or taking protests, carry on all kinds of norms, and calling government attention and to do the right thing, or to make sure that this company does the right thing. He wants each company in the country to make sure to prioritize their workers' health and also interest. So the president also talked about that, and the way he measured the Ministry of Labor to be able to do its work. All right. So yes, there are couples of things that the president actually measured this morning when he called for this meeting, and we are still here in the next few minutes. This fifth cabinet meeting will be ending. We imagine since 10 o'clock this morning. So if we were to count for 10, you have 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, after 6 now, 8 hours now. They're still indoor, having meeting, making sure that the arrest agenda is this arrest agenda resonate, in the country. All right, so they are still in. The president is still actively, conducting the meeting and spearheading that meeting, the fifth cabinet meeting. But anytime from now, they will be coming out, and we wish to talk to the justice minister. We wish to talk to the transport minister. Mind you, the transport ministry a few days ago released a new traveling prices. All right. So we want to know how effective, those transportation fares will be implemented, from different destinations to another. So we will talk to the transport minister to be able to hear from him how effective, those prices will work, and we will be glad to talk to the Minister of Justice as well concerning the audit, and other issues surrounding auditing former officials of government. Where are we? How firm is the Justice Ministry into making sure that the right things are done? So we are hoping to talk to the Justice Minister. All right, if possible, to the Commerce Minister. We are hoping to talk to. Some of those ministers that are here, we are hoping to talk to them and listen to them, what was discussed in the meeting, and how are they going back to their various places of work, and what should we expect of them as they end the 5th cabinet meeting with the president. What did the president tell them, and how are they going back now to be able to control their deputies, implement some agendas in the interest of the country. So that's why we are here awaiting them. But if you really listen to the president this morning, the president was very, very strong in his statement. He was very strong and bold, wanting his government succeed. That is his mission. He wants his government succeed. That tomorrow, after his 6 years, because of course I do believe that he doesn't have any intention. I do believe that he doesn't have any intention after 6 years to rerun for the presidency. So he actually wants to see the best of Liberia, if you will say. He wants to see the best of Liberia. So we are here live here at the Executive Mansion. All right, we are live here at the Executive Mansion. So we are still awaiting the president. So if you have a question, maybe you want us to ask the Justice Minister, you can start to write it down here. Of course, I will read that for you and ask that question. Yes, but if you listen to the president this morning and you have concerns, specifically for some ministers or agencies who are represented here, and of course we can help you to ask your questions. All right, so yes, we are here. Keep following us. In the next few minutes, you will see the president and his entourage, outside of this tea house here at the Executive Mansion. So we will recap what the president said this morning while we await the meeting to be dismissed. We are here. We will recap what the president said. So, like I told you, the president wants, ministers to follow procedures. All right, the president wants ministers to follow procedures, that the right things are done, especially in line with his arrest agenda. All right, he wants ministers proper should be able to supervise deputy ministers, and deputy ministers supervise, assistant ministers, and so on. All right, so that level of coordination can be seen, and in everything he wants results, especially positive results. He doesn't want to see eye service in his government, and that's one of the things the president said. And really, because most people, they actually work with that kind of eye service. When you see your boss, that is time you want to show that you are working. You want to show you that yes, the minister is working. You want to pass from this corner to this another corner. You want to be performing. No, the president wants you to work in his absence, and not just you call for a ceremony, maybe an honorary ceremony or dedicatory ceremony, and the president is there and praising you. That's all. No, the president, according to him, he wants you to work in his absence. Let your result be able to tell him that this minister or this director, is working. All right, and he said he will be motivated with that if your work can tell him that yes, this agency or this ministry or this director or minister is working, and not you, going in front of him or telling him that we are doing this, we are doing that. No, the president does not want to see our services in the government. He wants results. That's what he said. And let me see it. Yeah, so please stay with us, right? We try to recap, what the president said this morning as we await, he and his the minister to get out of the tea house. All right. So one of the things he said, when you are fired, you fire for good, and those who recommended you will not be able to have the chance, to negotiate. So let's see what's happening and see. Okay.
The chief is coming here. He's using the outside to come out.
So we get this sign that the president and his entourage will soon be out. The president's officials will soon be out. So we are hoping that we can speak to the justice minister. We can speak to the transport minister. The issue of the transport, is very, 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 very important. All right, we want to see those. We want to see those fares that the transport ministry release, very effective. So, folks, stay with us. Spoon TV with me, Sylvester Chlopley, my colleague Joasi Joe is here, and making sure that we bring you this ceremony. So there you have ministers coming out. First minister is Minister Mamaka Belite, Minister of State with our portfolio. You see the protocol advisor to the president, Madam Mandela Kupo. Above there, you see CSA director, Mr. Josiah Joker. There you have the foreign minister, Minister Sarah Vestinati, or they are coming out. All right. So you have LPRC Managing Director Amos Towe over there. Okay. You have Lands Mine Energy Minister. And over you have the Minister of Commerce, Minister Ami Modai is also here. And of course the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Jeremiah Kuhn, is also coming out. And there you have the Information Minister, Minister Jeremiah Pia. Wait about there you have Charles Slender, the ambassador at large, and then you have Mr. Alexander Note, Minister of Agriculture. Now you have the president, standing at the middle there, His Excellency President Joseph Nyoma Boakai. Behind him is the foreign minister. So the foreign minister, is over there, the education minister. Okay, so if that's it, you have it over there, so that's it. Alright, so they are posting for good photos. They're here for good photos, alright? So we have the Minister of Defense, Geraldine George, is also here on the left. Alright. She's requesting that she's also in. So they are doing reposition so that they can be rightly placed. There you go. A good photos are being cut for.
That's good. Everybody in there.
Please move. All right, out of 5. 1, 2,
Look at my hair, my hair. Smile.
4, 5.
Good. More pictures. Just smile.
Good.
So there you have the Justice Minister. Just contacted the Presidential Press Secretary to be able to get to him so we can have a chit chat with the Justice Minister already. So if possible, if he is willing, we'll definitely talk to him like we earlier on told you. Alright. So it seems like we have a green light to talk to the Justice Minister and the Justice Minister.
Can we move back a little, please? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm just going to have a very brief conversation just to get an impression of the Ministry of Justice and Transport as well as Lands, Mines and Energy. So Minister of Justice, Honorable Oswald Toy. Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Who impressed?
Yes, Honorable Minister, welcome. Welcome to the media. I'm Sylvester Chirople, work for the Spoon Network. We know that you will tell us how was the meeting, but we are seeing the LACC, the GAC, audit report circulating that talking about the auditing former government officials and other people. Can you tell us exactly what's the stand of the Justice Ministry? How effective will the Justice Ministry be in this process?
Well, the first thing I want to point out correction. The GSC is not auditing former government officials.
Okay.
The GSC is auditing government entities.
Okay. Okay.
My stand is though, what we're doing, there's a whole stack of audit reports. We're working on it, analyzing it, and see what it says. The analysis shows that there be some criminality to take the next step. If it's clear and think that maybe certain things are just common mismanagement by officials and different administrative, they give the more down to and then criminal matters. So the analysis we don't know yet.
So some former officials are turning this process as witch hunt. What do you have to say about that, Honorable Minister?
I think I would just put my president.
Mr. Minister, my name is Regan S. Libyan, report for the Liberia News Agency. The President has asked you not to work in fear. How do you feel be given such an opportunity by the President today?
Not to work in fear?
In fear.
Of course, I will not work in fear.
To do your work without being afraid to do it professionally and stuff like that.
I think it's any government official is afraid you shouldn't take the job. You shouldn't work in government. You don't come to government with fear. You just come to do the right thing as your conscience and the law dictates. So it's is not fair, but with the president assurance and which he has always given to his ministers, I think it just emboldened us more.
Honorable, last thing from my end, you may listen to the former president, Mr. Joshua, asking, partisans, even like bringing people that in any attempt for any witch hunt, like he classified it, they will resist it. So, you being the Justice Minister of the Republic of Liberia, how do you see your statement? What will you say to the Liberian people also?
The first thing I say, we have all due respect for the former head of state. He's our former president. But he just alluded to the fact if there is any wish hunt, what we're doing is not the wish hunt. We're very analytical and we'll go here. Be according with the law and keep it transparent and open manner.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. That is Justice Minister, Councillor Towev there. So we have to go to the Minister of Transport to take a few words from you. Honorable Minister, welcome to the media.
Thank you.
Please,
Glad to be
1
here.
second. Sir, can you run point, please?
Excuse me, Mr. Minister, my name is Godfrey Badukwansa. I report for Report 231 Online Network. There has been an increase in the transport fare and then decrease in the transport fare. Is it in line with the petrol price?
Yes, well, we increased petroleum fare, transportation fares around the country by 30%, and it's definitely in line with the petroleum reduction. What we do at the Ministry of Transport is that it's a stakeholder approach we have with Commerce Ministry, the transport unions, transport ministries, along with our statisticians and civil society as well. We take an analytical look at the prices of tires, the prices of spare parts, and also the prices of petroleum products as well. Petroleum product, we have this model where the prices drop by 50 cents. We do the fares, they will go up by 50 cents. Not only that, transportation should be at least 10% of somebody's disposable income. So we feel it's an relief for our people. We believe we can move those resources in other areas of expenses.
How effective that will take place?
You saw my press conference yesterday. The Ministry of Inspectors will be going around as well. Police. And first, also appealing to the public to report these cases to a wherein people are charging arbitrarily. All you have to do is take the license plate number, and like I said, we are encouraging the public to get to us, and don't fight with the police, with the taxi drivers. If he charge you a price, that is not the list. It's not the list. You take his license plate, you send it to us, we'll run it in our system, and we'll find those drivers. First offense is $100, and the next offense is $200. But let me make it clear to all drivers, we are serious about the transportation fare because their unions were involved in the crafting of those fares. It's mathematically done, and it's done in the interest of our people to reduce the economic stress that they have.
Are there hotlines to call?
Yes, there is hotline. I think we released that to the press yesterday, but on top of my head, I don't know the number. But you can go into the Ministry of Transport and we'll get that numbers out to you.
So, Mr. Minister, my name is Basta Tali. I work with your BC. So I want to know the transportation fare that were released by your ministry. Does it also affect people in the Leeward counties, maybe like Grand Judea, because of the road condition? You see the hike in the prices of transportation. So does the transportation fare also affect other counties, or with the exception of Monrovia?
The transportation fare released yesterday was for Monrovia and its environs. We are working around the clock to restore the fares that we previously done in the past for the Leeward counties. But not only that, we also do transport fares for the transportation of petroleum products around the country. We're working on both of those, and I believe we'll get that expeditiously soon out to the public. I think you were in the press conference yesterday. You saw those questions were asked, and we answered those questions again. But believe me, the folks at the Ministry of Transport are working really hard. They are doing all they can to make sure that we get our citizens not cheated by drivers, and as road conditions get improved and the prices of gasoline drop further, we'll take action to steps.
So how does this fifth cabinet retreat
reinforce your mandate?
Well, the president is clear to all his ministers that he wants us to do better. He wants us to do well. And we should do our job without fear or favor. And we are only working for the Liberian people, and that's all that matters. I don't think there's anybody that can fail us. We have a task to do. We have a mandate to do. We are backed by the law, and within the confines of the law, we execute our functions effectively.
Thank you.
I'm tired. Y'all have.
Thank you.
Let me get my mic.
Okay, that's Transport Minister telling us about the recent transportation fairs.
We have the Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Wilmot Pay.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, Mr. P.
Thank you.
With all the construction issues going around, especially with China Union and other areas, can you speak to that?
Yeah, the first thing is the president has already mandated right from day one, from taking over. Even before becoming president of Liberia, he had mandated as a policy objective for all concessions to be reviewed. At the Ministry of Mines and Energy, we are reviewing licenses, and you know some of the effects. Even as we speak, there is a joint interagency task force comprising of the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Ministry of Justice, represented by the police, Liberian Immigration Service, and all of them are in the southeast right now. Recently, you saw the effect of our compliance review exercise in Bapolo County, and all of that is going on. We are negotiating, and we are making sure that the sector, the mineral sector of our country is reviewed, and the energy sector is vibrant, because right now you are enjoying electricity because there's so much water in the reservoir, in the dam, the St. Paul Hydro Dam. But what will happen in the dry season as we speak, the CEO of LEC is in Ghana right now, negotiating to conclude arrangements for Ghana through the Volta River Authority to export some electricity to us through the Côte d'Ivoire, in addition to the imports that we are also getting. That's in preparation for the next dry season. So the president is aware, and he has mandated us fully to work. I've always said, if we don't succeed, it will not be because the political will was not there at the highest level, or the support was not there. It will be because we, as his lieutenants, have chosen to fail. Well, I can assure you that we cannot fail. This government will succeed.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
my name is Reagan, Minister. During the opening section, the president did mention something about your ministers, that he's getting information that some of your ministers have been going to those mining areas, and for what, we don't know. What is that special message are you taking back to your lieutenants?
The president was sending a warning, a reminder to the entire cabinet. He didn't mention a specific minister or ministry, but he's saying minister some. They were visiting, but the issue here is the president is very particular about integrity. He's concerned about us doing the right thing in our different sectors that he has entrusted to us. That's what he was saying. So it's a reminder, and he does that all of the time at cabinet meetings, cabinet retreat, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's interagency coordination meetings. The president is reinforcing that whenever he's speaking at different gatherings, whether it's just to turn on electricity somewhere in St. Paul or in Boudreaux Island, dedicated to a particular project. The president is consistently reminding us, in his team, and Liberians generally, and the world at large, that Liberia, this is no business as usual. I think that's the bottom line, no business as usual. That is the message the president continues to reassure everybody. You are welcome.
Thank you all.
That's Wilmot Pay is the Minister of Lands, Mine, Energy. They're speaking to us. We are concluding with the
Fifth
PBS.
cabinet meeting has just ended, and as you know, when we started this, there have been a number of cabinet meetings. In this particular one, as I said earlier today, is to bring all of those discussions and conversations around the table, and the president is very clear
that's it. Just listen to the president, press secretary Kula Fofana concluding the interview. So Joasi also been calling this fifth cabinet meeting is here. Joasi, what did you take today from the president? What did you remember that he said?
So actually today been a really workaholic day for all of the cabinet ministers.
Yeah, sure.
So like I was saying, so today actually been a workaholic day for all of the cabinet minister and the president as well, for the fact that they came here earlier this morning, and as about this time they are leaving this meeting. So there have been a lot of things on their list for today's discussion, and there are key issues that the president strike high on, and sending mandate to all of his cabinet ministers to do their work without fear, and they should work in the interest of the Liberian people. And he also mandated and gave hope to the justice minister that he should do what is right. He should work in the confines of the law. What is the right thing, he should do it. He should not work in fear. He should not pay attention to critics. He should not pay attention to what people will be saying. He should do what is right in the interest of the Liberian people. And he said that Liberian people gone will be able to back him for whatever he's doing, because what is right, he's gonna do it. So that's the take for today's cabinet meeting, and actually has been a real workaholic day, and as about the time we are about to
most definitely. So one of the things I want you to get from you too is that the president talked about once he fires any of his cabinet minister, there will be no room for negotiation. What do you think the president will say make such a statement?
The president was actually clear on his statement, and there have been rumors, there have been series of information reaching to the president that deputies being appointed by the president was not taking order directly from the heads of these ministries. They've been doing contrary, they've been acting out of the way. So there's a warning. The president was giving this warning to all of the deputies, those that don't want to work along with those ministers at the very agency or directors at the very agency, that once you are not working in line with the minister's mandate in order to promote the government interest, you will definitely be pushed away. Once that information reaches the president, you will definitely be pushed away, and he don't care whoever that did the recommendation, because once you are kicked out, that means you are not in the interest of the president, and the president will do no due diligence to bring you back into his government. So that means once you are kicked out, you are kicked out completely. So he said that if you have any hidden agenda, you should keep it to yourself, because once it's known, and then you are there to spoil the
government's progress,
to spoil the image of the government or undermine the progress of the government, you will definitely be kicked away, and then someone gonna replace you. So he was very strict with that. So there's a warning to those deputy directors, ministers, or existing ministers at the federal agency who don't want to work in line with the minister order, or they feel that they were appointed,
so they have the sole power,
they were appointed, so they want to show up how in this very ministry. So there's a warning to them that the president favor no one. Once you are not working in the interest of the Liberian people, you will definitely be pushed away.
That's great. So Joasi Joe is my colleague here at the executive mansion. So folks, that's it. Thanks so very kindly. And here's Sylvester Churople from the grounds of the executive mansion. Thanks so for following.